Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Have traders already gone into AA? Wait for a analysis. http ntvforex.com news ID 0E88F8915 2023 p.m. The euro inched higher on Monday. NBSP have gold amp silver found their mojo again. NBSP good dia and a Tom terrific Tuesday to you. I said a prayer last night and asked that Mother Nature give the Gulf Coast a break. Please be safe if you are in that region. When I went to bed last night, Hurricane Sally was packing 100 miles per hour winds and heading to the Gulf. My beloved Cardinals left their bats in St. Louis, and surely didn't take them to Milwaukee, where they were made to look the fool at the plate by some pitchers I had never heard of. Ugh, but Ida baseball, I find that I am more tolerant of bad play this year, because we almost didn't have AA this year. I just hope that all this no fans in the stanza is over by the time spring training starts next February. I know that's 6 months away, Bhuta. Did you expect when they shut down spring training this year on March 13th that we would still be dealing with this pandemic? I sure didn't, and I was wrong to think that the warmer weather would burn up the virus. But all in all, I still say the economy should not have been shut down. NBSP. I think when all is said and done, the numbers will prove that the death rates were about the same whether you shut down or didn't. So, why put the economy in such a bind? NBSP. Oh well, it is what it is. Joe Cocker greets me this morning with his great song You Can Leave Your Hat On, from the soundtrack of the movie 9 Weeks. NBSP. Well, what happened yesterday in the currencies and metals? I hear you asking. The currencies, led by the euro, inched higher on the day, but any real moves were nascent at best. Gold on the other hand gained $15.60 to end the day at $1,955.60. But was $9 higher during the day. Silver followed along for the ride, closing at $27.10, up 39 cents on the dia. I am afraid to say this, Bhuta. It appears that the markets have gone into a wait and see what the Fed has to say tomorrow. NBSP. I don't get Ida. I am sitting here at my writing desk, in my basement, thousands of miles away from DC, and yet, I think I know what the Fed is going to say. That interest rates will remain near zero until inflation reaches a level that the Fed feels comfortable, and that they think they can halt the rise of inflation at that level. I think the full of you know what, and I would tell them to their collective faces if I ever had the opportunity to do so. NBSP. My publishers, Mary Ann and Pamela Aden aka the Aden sisters, recently wrote the following about inflation. Our late dear friend Richard Russell warned about this for many years. He often pointed out all of the reasons why the Fed and the government were in a position where they literally had to inflate or die. The main reason why was because the Fed was printing excessive amounts of money to pay for the government's ever-growing expenses and deficits. They simply didn't have enough money to pay for all these expenses on their own, so the Fed had to step in to pick up the slack. As you know, too much money creation is the direct cause of inflation. And as Richard foresaw so many years ago, the end result of all this money creation was going to end up in an inflationary bubble. Aden forecast. NBSP. So it is that we are stuck with a Fed that doesn't care about senior savers, or people on fixed income, or just regular people that will find rising inflation to be a real burden on them. And then everyone will see a double whammy when the dollar goes into a weak trend, because as your purchasing power is taken away by inflation, it will be doubled up with a weaker dollar. NBSP. But that doesn't bother the folks on Wall Street, the casino banks, the Robinhood traders, and the zombie corporations. So, the last time I discussed zombie corporations, I had a few dear readers send me a note and ask me to explain. Okay, so here goes. A zombie corp is on that pays more interest on its debt than they take in revenue. And therefore need government bailouts to continue to exist. NBSP. That list of zombie corporations is growing like a weed, folks. I read yesterday that zombie corporations are now at 20% in the US and that the total corporate debt issuance in 2020 is already at $1 trillion. NBSP. This problem with zombie corporations is not going to go away easily, folks. When you have the Fed Reserve keeping rates low for a long time, it keeps more unproductive firms alive, which ultimately lowers the long-run growth rate of the economy. As I said in 2008, when everyone got bailouts, that we should have let them fail. If we had done that in 2008, and not began this racking up of national debt, we would have at least been better off when the pandemic hit in 2020. NBSP. The US debt clock tells me that our national debt is up to $26.7 trillion, and will reach $27 trillion soon, and that the unfunded liabilities of the country are up to $154.3 trillion, which is equal to $467.549 per citizen. I recall one of my first times on stage at the Agora Wealth Symposium in Vancouver, BC. I showed the crowd that their share of the debt was $45,000. It has come a long way since then. I also recall me having a funny slide of Presidents Bush and Obama, wearing different shades of lipstick. NBSP. I don't think I have to go into a long explanation of that one. So in the overnight markets last night, the euro inched closer to 1.19, dragging most of the currencies along. And gold has really found its mojo again, as it is up $15.50 in the early trading today, and silver is up 45 cents. So, the metals traders seem to know what's in store at tomorrow's Fed meeting and press conference. More low rates, more emphasis on rising inflation, and other Fed shenanigans. NBSP. I find it very interesting that Fed Chairman Powell and other Fed heads have been begging Congress for more stimulus. They don't want to be seen as the only reason the ship sunk. They want to take Congress down with them. NBSP. The US data cupboard was empty yesterday, but it has been restocked for today, and that will mean a showing of August industrial production and capacity utilization. We will also see the final 2019 reports for median household income, the poverty rate, and uninsured radia. These are so old that they want to carry much water from the well, but it's still interesting to see if there is any improvement in them from 2018. They're also a regional manufacturing index that will print, but since I am boycotting them, I want to even tell you which one will print today. To recap, the currencies inched higher yesterday, led by the euro. And gold gained $20 on the day to close at $1,460. Gold is also up in the early morning trading today by $9. So, maybe gold has regained its mojo. Chuck goes into a long explanation of zombie core, and what that means for the economy going forward. And you want to have missed his recollection of one of his trips to Vancouver. On a sidebar, the Aden sisters mentioned the late great Richard Russell. I used to grab quotes from him all the time, and then one day the head of King World Publishing called me and told me to stop what I was doing. I responded, but I give full credit and the IRL to you each time I quote him, and he said, he didn't care, I was to stop. So I stopped. NBSP. At Richard Russell's Memorial in San Diego a year or so later, I tried to find that guy, to give him a piece of my mind, but never found him. If he was there, that ISA. For what it's worth. Okay. I don't mean to be a smart aleck all the time, but when I do. Sounds like a Dos Equis commercial. I love to be a real smart aleck. This article this morning is about Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and him making some very ridiculous statements, and it can be found here. https www.cnbc.com 2020-09-14 Stephen Mnuchin. Now isn't the time to worry about the deficit. Fed balance sheet.html NBSP. Or, here's your snippet. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin told CNBC on Monday that lawmakers should not allow fears over the size of the national's deficit or the Federal Reserve's balance sheet to delay additional COVID-19 relief. NBSP. Now is not the time to worry about shrinking the deficit or shrinking the Fed balance sheet. Mnuchin told NBC Squawk Box from the White House. There was a time when the Fed was shrinking the balance sheet and coming back to normal. The good news is that gave them a lot of room to increase the balance sheet, which they did. NBSP. And I think both the monetary policy working with fiscal policy and what we were able to get done in an unprecedented way with Congress is the reason the economy is doing better. He added. NBSP. Mnuchin, who argues that more stimulus is needed to help the U.S. economy, said Monday that we are rebounding in a very, very significant way. Chuck again. Okay, where do I start? I guess, first of all, we should check to see what he was smoking. Then we need to check his temperature, because he could be delirious from having to work with the other knuckleheads on a stimulus package. Nookin hasn't he been the same ever since he visited Fort Knox a couple of years ago, and stated that all the gold is there that's supposed to be there, or something like that. We should have had him committed at that time. NBSP market prices 9/15/20 American style $A.7330, Kiwi $0.6730, C $0.7607, Euro 1.1895, Sterling 1.2905, Swiss $1.1045, European style Rand 16.4460, Krona 8.9932, 8.7500 Swedish kronor, Foreign 300.57, NBSP Zloty 3.7380, NBSP Koruna 22.5582, Rub 75.08, Yen 100 and 5.45, Sing 1.3589, 7.7498 Hong Kong dollars, INR 73.54, China 6.8188, Peso 20.97, BRL 5.3009, Dollar Index 92.81, Oil $37.70, NBSP 10-year 0.68%, Silver $27.10, Platinum $958, Palladium $2,185, and Gold, $1,970.50. That's it for today. Shorter today, because I didn't have 4 days to read and research well. My beloved Cardinals found a way to eke out a 3-2 win in extra innings to split the doubleheader with the Brew Crew last night. It was a late finish, and I had just gone to bed, when I thought I'll check the score one more time, and it was then that I saw that they had finally won. A regular 9-inning game today, before they play another doubleheader tomorrow. NBSP. Some people may say that they're getting tired of all these games, but not me. I'm loving it, man. Have the days cooled down? Last night I had a jacket and baseball cap on to watch the games outside. Loggins and Messina take us to the finish line today with their song Your Mama Don't Dance. NBSP. My darling daughter Dawn used to sing, when she was a little girl, my mama does dance, and my daddy does rock and roll. So cute. And with that, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday, and will be safe, and don't forget to be good to yourself. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.